this next panel is a small business panel. It's a race to $100 million and or beyond. Why limit to $100 million? And I want to bring them on. But before we do, I want to just, I guess, advertise to the audience. At the beginning of this symposium earlier today, we had introduced a new experience for all of the audience, and that is texting AI, the letter A, the letter I, to 512-865-4065. And that is an artificial intelligence text bot. So when you text that, you'll be able to get speaker bios, updates on speaker schedules. You'll be able to ask the AI bot different questions about the symposium. It's going to invite you to a mastermind next week. It's going to also let you know about future events. It will also provide 30 days after this event ends, tips and tricks of how you can utilize and leverage AI to your benefit and how you can take advantage of AI. So it's a really cool thing. It's not just a canned response. It's interactive. It is really, really cool. So without further ado, I wanted to bring on the panel we have here. And that is Miss Ava, Deanna, Dr. Brent. Great to see you again. And my good friend, Mr. William Beliles. Welcome, everybody.
Hey, thanks for having us, Tom.
Well, that was a debate that was spirited. I'm not sure if you guys watched all of it or some of it, but it was pretty spirited. It was all about ethics, but we're going to shift focus to building your business with AI, tips, tricks, and how does a small business leverage AI to reduce their costs, increase productivity, and grow their business, interact with audience, all those things and a whole lot more. Ms. Sandy, do you want to kick things off?
Well, I'm a small business and I'm a podcaster, and I use AI to, I have a program called Cap Show, which is probably at the time, I've been using it for a few years, and I don't know if it was the first application for podcasting or not. I have no idea, but I love the service. And what it does is, I need to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. What it does is, once you have the fully edited episode, we upload it into Cap Show. It gives us awesome titles. That was the really big thing. And I'm telling you, once I started using that, I had people reaching out, and like the few friends I have, because most of my 150,000 downloads a month are not my friends, but the few people that know me, they were like, your titles are so much better. And so I really got great feedback about that. But it also just makes life so much easier because it does the show notes and it transcribes it for you, and it creates all this content for me. So that's pretty much the extent of my use. Obviously, creating content is really great for ChatGPT. It's the only one that I use because I just, you get used to something and you do it. But I'm excited for this panel because I'm hoping to learn more tools that I can apply for my business just to help, besides the obvious content, emails, putting stuff in, they make it better, all of that stuff, because there's so much we don't know. And that's why this is great, this panel, because I'm hoping that a lot of small business owners out there will learn some new tricks. Like today, where we actually had a demonstration. I loved that. Where, and I took so many notes, and, by the time I get to this on my list, but it was using Hugging Face to add like a little AI application to your website. And I was like, that is so cool. And I was thinking of all these uses that I could potentially do. And of course, I need an AI assistant to help me. But why don't we go around first of all and introduce yourself. We'll start with Ava. Ava's got her book up there. It was just released. Congratulations again.
Yes, thank you, everyone. It's so nice to see everyone again. So we had a fantastic time 3 months ago, and here we are again sharing this space. So there's so many tools that happening in the space right now. Like in my line of work, I'm helping small and mid-sized companies to improve their processes. In the end, with the goal is to improve profit, but also making employees happy. So there's so many tools that we can talk about. First, often in my line of work, we would flesh out the goals. Like, what is even our expected goals? Do we really understand the problems need to be solved? And so tools like we you probably talk about Perplexity AI before, but it really can help to understand new industry context and environmental factors. That can really help, and other tools to help with business analysis. ChatGPT is getting quite sophisticated now. They release the new version recently, but there's so many tools I can talk about. But ChatGPT now, you can do plugins and they can write Python for you. So one thing, like, okay, I'm gonna have to show you this, but I don't know how I'm going to show the screen on this, but one small thing that, it's kind of interesting is that, you literally don't need to know coding, but you can ask, ChatGPT to write Python codes, and you can plug and play into different scenarios for you. The only thing that I didn't like is that when, I create my own Chat GPT and they asked me, okay, so what is the name would you like? And I said, Ava, the code engineer. And you know what? The image came out is, a male, young male. So this is just to say that there's still room for, it's continuous a little bit with that ethical conversation. The AI just aggregate all the information they know in the past. So, obviously probably a lot of, engineers are male, and there we are, but the roles are changing. Our landscape are changing. So it could be, I don't know, a middle-aged woman who are a programmer now with the help of ChatGPT and writing code. So that's my piece.
Awesome. Thank you. And Deanna.
Hi. So in an answer, you made me think of something right off the bat. So I have a wonderful client who is a menopause coach helping women around the world with menopause. So she wanted some imagery. So I went in and I said, okay, menopausal woman. I got a 99-year-old woman. Typical menopausal woman. So yeah, there's if the code's not perfect yet, you have to play around with it a little bit. So my business actually just launched yesterday. So I'm nowhere near 100 million yet, but we are getting there because we already have people coming in funding. And what we do at Made in Multimedia is, there's this wave. 4.1 million Americans are going to retire this year. And most of them are in my age set. And I know, and they'll come and they'll sit down for a week and they'll play with the kids and the grandkids for a week and they'll go on vacation. And then they're like, okay, now what? They've been working their whole life. What am I going to do? So what we use AI tools for is to help them figure that out more quickly and less expensively. So there's a great article in The Economist that talks about some colleges that are converting pieces of campuses because of all of these boomers coming back to school, right? What if they didn't have to do that? They have 30, 40 years of knowledge that they can put to use with some good AI tools and become whatever they want to become, an author, a consultant, get on stage, start a nonprofit. Any of those things, you can work with AI and make things come to life so much faster.
Love that. Dr. Brent, and you need to unmute. Oh, there you go. Awesome.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me. Hopefully, I've got a new mic. Hopefully, it's sounding okay. Y'all hear? Awesome.
Sounds great.
Yeah, so I'm Brent Fessler. My work, I focused on a few different things right now. Integrators is I consult with companies on their culture and employee flourishing, leadership development. And related to that, I also have a couple of peer forums for startups, entrepreneurs. It's all in person. And so I'm using AI in my own business to produce product. training product. And I want to say that I have to be careful not to overextend my own knowledge. I'm using it as a augmentation, a reminder, a good starting point. I think for me still, AI products are still kind of that 80-90% there. Never hit send, right out of the bat. So it's a great starting point. It's a great way to get past writer's block when I'm trying to write some curriculum narratives for that. Great way to remind myself of all the different top researchers in the different areas, but try to avoid, at least for that, when I need to be an expert. AI can't supplant me, but it can support, augment, help me speed up my research, refresh my memory on things. And so that's where I'm using it internally to produce content. For example, leadership development for brand new supervisors, managers, and it's really helping me speed up producing that curriculum, book summaries, and things to help with that. The other place where I'm really using it a lot that I'd like to talk about is on the startups. It's a great place to do it because they're not already ingrained with established systems and butts and seats that are already molded very rigidly. And so with the startups, some are using it in the development, like as a fractional, C-suite. I don't have, one startup doesn't have a lot of marketing experience, so lean heavily on using AI to develop your marketing plan, to really refine those things and the strategies there. But some of them are significantly integrating it into their business model and using it as strategic advantages, as competitive advantages for them, to the point where many of them are hitting above their weight, and that's becoming part of their differentiator. Is we're a startup, but we're able to hit above our weight because we're using AI to cut huge parts of our process that traditional folks are having to do. One is in movie production, short video production. And so they're starting to use AI to help them storyboard and to get much more resolution. Hey, go ahead and produce the movie that you want to do in live action, produce it in AI so that you can do all of your editing there. And you have this realistic now movie that you can show to your team. It's like a super storyboard where they know exactly what kind of video shots, how the lighting, how the costumes and the sets. They've got just such a high resolution storyboard now that as they go to film, it's drastically reduced. And so they're coming out with this competitive advantage. So we're rolling it in. They're not considered an AI or a tech company, but these small businesses that are launching right now are able to incorporate directly into their business model some significant advantages. So those are, I'm using it myself, but especially excited. I would say right now there's about 60 to 80% of the small businesses, the startups, are significantly using AI, either to augment their executive team that they don't have, or directly into their business model, which is exciting.
Awesome. Mr. Beliles.
Well, when I'm not a full-time supermodel, I own. Well, glad they broke the ice there. My name's William. I own Genesis Solar Power, the ARC Corporation, and Eden HVAC and Home Efficiency, and another company that is under the radar right now. So I am a full-fledged contractor in multiple capacities, and we use AI to fill the voids and employee gaps at our company and to correct human error. So I look forward to diving into some of that with some of your questions, Tom and Sandy.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. If we could keep the answers about maybe 2 minutes or less, we have a lot of ground to cover. And so it's going to be a quick panel for the next 20 minutes. So going from Deanna, you said you just started your business, and I know some of the businesses here from a personal level, some of you guys have businesses that are unbelievably rapidly expanding and growing like gangbusters. So what advice would you give a small business owner to help them full time? And what I mean by that, here's an example that if I was asked that question, I would answer this way. I would hire a virtual assistant to utilize that person, I guess, to utilize AI for me. So 1, it frees my time. 2, it saves me cost. 3, it increases my productivity. So is there a software or is there a method or a process you would introduce into your company or someone's company to help them scale up instantly? Who wants to jump in and go first?
I'm happy to. I thought you said me.
Go for it. You're good. Yes.
I'm happy to, since this is so new to me. So I have 30 years corporate Fortune 500 experience. So to go from 30 years Fortune 500 experience to entrepreneur is a big swing, right? Is a very big swing. So it's been fascinating. And I purposely signed up for a female founders program at Georgia Tech to be able to retrain my brain a little bit. And every one of those super smart, half my age women in Georgia Tech already use AI. So it's been really fascinating and really fun. One of the first things, there are 2 tools that I really love and 2 tools that I really recommend, whether you use them or VA use them. One of them, of course, is either ChatGPT or Claude. They're both fantastic. I've designed 3-day leadership webinars in my voice in 20 minutes using ChatGPT. I've led hundreds and hundreds of people, especially women, and it blew my mind the first time it laid it out. I could not believe how quick and easy and how much sense it made. The other one I really like is it's called Googlebot. You can literally feed any type of website, PDF, research into Gogglebot into a text file, and then you can go put it in ChatGPT and find the themes. What's going on that website? What are they all about? Who are they? Why are they? What do they offer? And it allows you to do competitor analysis. So those would be my 2.
How do you say that website? Or
I believe it's called Gogglebot, Goggle.bot. You would literally paste it, it turns it into a text file so that ChatGPT can read it. You can do a complete competitor analysis around it. I believe I have that spelled right.
That is a gold nugget. That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's a great gold nugget. It's fun and it's addicting.
Hey, Ava.
Yes. So in my line of work is about understanding first the customer pains and how do we help them. So some of that I can use ChatGPT to have that initial phase. But it's still really important to use that human voice, to use that coaching and really work with human to really have to understand authentically. And ChatGPT now can really use a lot of large set of data, especially for ChatGPT Enterprise. They have that line, and you can do unlimited requests from your teams, and it's safe in the safe environment. So in that sense, everyone can really share. It's almost like to me, it's like a 360 program where everyone in the team can start sharing insights and creating that organizational intelligence. And then, for small businesses, you can start using Zendesk bots that's really help with customers to scale yourself up. But I think the best thing is to really look at what the problem needs to be solved. Are these problems the right problem to solve? And then using combinations of knowledge in deep process improvement in combinations with plugins and Python to really translate different type of even like legacy systems into a new system using AI and customize it using ChatGPT.
Awesome.
Interesting.
Yeah, William.
So I really want to take a different approach at this for like the standard business owner, because I'm not tech focused. So I'm going to give you 2 processes that I think of off the top of my head. And the first one has nothing to do with text. Never underestimate the great power of solid hard work. My staff will tell you, I'll work you up under the table, bro. I'll work 5 a.m. and I'll work 10 p.m. So as a small business owner, also note the ability of that our generations before us have left in front of us is that solid hard work is never out. You can't beat it, right? It's a reality.
Right.
The second thing is I'm not going to give you a new piece of technology because I feel like that's there are some other awesome individuals on here that specialize in AI. What I would tell you is to do what I did. Using AI on technology that I'm already using, whether it's for my emails or whether it's in our designs and engineerings, we were able to take a look internally at the company, really take a view of what our tech supports were able to bring to us. And it saved me now. At the last AI event, Tom, we talked about almost $250,000. I am almost up to $1 million saved by leveraging AI in just in payroll, just in use of what we don't spend. So, but AI can be really overwhelming. Guys, take a look internally at yourselves probably, and at the tech that your company uses, and really take a see what's used in your everyday life before you venture out and explore the thousands of other apps out there.
Such great advice, and that's a great tie-in to what Dr. Brent, I know what you do, but love to hear your answer on that.
Yeah, so I look at habits as well. So challenge the habits and think back in tech how often we're Googling now. It's become a verb, and it's like you don't even count how many times you pull up a search engine and just search for things. It's like replaced our memory, but not so much so more so that we can do higher level things. And so challenge your habits. Even start saying, how many times have I used AI? Really since our last symposium a few months ago till now, I am using it an order of magnitude more. I mean, I'm just thinking significantly over the past 24 hours or 48 hours. I mean, there's many significant new applications for it. So look at your habits and challenge them. And in that though, especially use it for things that maybe you're not great or you hate. Use it as one of those things that like, oh, I really hate writing an email, or I hate doing another marketing plan, or I hate doing these things. Where's my intern? All the things that you would ask an intern to do. You got this forever intern assistant there, but don't let it replace your expertise. But also don't say, well, I'm really good at this part, so I don't want AI to come into this place. So, habits, do the things you hate. I think those are some really great starting points. And of course, come to symposiums like this. Surround yourself with people who are pursuing AI, because I don't know how many times it's like today. It's just one after another. Somebody discovers an AI tool. It's like, I had no idea it was out there, and it just sparks a new way to go and use it. So,
well, thank you for that, Dr. Brett, because when I'm not podcasting, I'm a peak performance coach and have been for close to 30 years. And those habits are so key, because there's times where you just forget.
Right.
Like, it's right there. I have it. Like when I hit a new browser page, it's right there. Like, that's how much I use it. But we get so used to doing things and we forget that we have, I know for me, I forget that I have it. And I'm like trying to figure out an email, and there's times I'll spend 30 minutes on an email and I'm like, oh my gosh, I could have just gone to ChatGPT and it could have just done it for me.
yep.
Right? Because there's times when you have a challenging email to write and you don't, how do I say this? And you can put all of that into ChatGPT or the other ones. And it can help you write it. So thank you for that reminder. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just on a little sticky, put it right there in front of me. Can ChatGPT do this for you? ? So I'm constantly reminding myself, right, to ask that question.
And I would even say that when it comes to LLMs or large language models like ChatGPT, Claude 3.5, I think it is, just was released yesterday. And based on the reviews I've seen and the stats I've seen, that actually has surpassed in accuracy and capabilities more so than ChatGPT. But ChatGPT is out marketing. They were first to market, and they have the first market mover advantage right now. Will that change? I don't know. Sina, I didn't know if you had a question lined up ready to go? If not, I have plenty, and I'll
Please,
get rolling.
go for it.
Okay. All right. So when you're scaling your business, I know we've had a variety of different responses from hard work and different softwares. What is that one piece of advice that you would give you 6 months ago as it relates to AI and the use of AI? William?
Oh man, the one piece of advice I'd give me from 6 months ago in regards to AI. Should have looked at it sooner, probably. I would probably say is trust your gut more. And really for me is the initial plan with AI. We kind of let it get out of control, right? We leaned into it really hard and we let it get smarter than us. So we had to like pull it back, and we're like, wait, I don't know what you're doing, and you got too crazy. So the biggest piece of advice is AI will spin, and at least if you're a regular Joe like me, and especially as a company grows, like make sure that you're controlling it, you're containing it, and you're learning yourself. Don't ever let AI spin past you, and don't let it make you lazy.
That's good. Deanna?
That's a great answer. I've never been lazy, so I might like that for just a little while. Just saying. So I guess my one piece of advice, having spent so many years in corporate and now following this very creative dream to really lift people up, especially working parents, hardworking moms and dads, follow whatever their dream is during their retirement. I guess my one piece of advice would be to know that anything is possible. Because now that we have these incredible tools and so many of them and so many guides, it doesn't have to be such a struggle. I like you, William, used to work at 5 a.m. and midnight. I'm not going to do that in my golden years. I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to build a business that I absolutely love, and I'm going to help my clients do the same. So my advice is go after that dream.
I resent that.
Don't resent it. Don't resent
it. Ava?
Yes. So one piece of advice I would give myself 6 months ago is not to be too worried about breaking things. I am trained. I have about 20 years in business, but I should just why not? Maybe I should have just picked up Python 6 months ago. And I did try, and I think it's now that the world with AI is going, who are we not to learn different type of skill set, even if we're not trained that at first. This is the time for us to learn that, and learning not so that we're doing it all day long, but to understand it so that we can make connections and we can help our teams to be more productive, and learning that also set an example for our teams that there's not to be too scared of new technologies, with resilience, with the will to learn, we can get there. And that really lead to, the kind of IT literacy. So understanding different type of technologies like Google Cloud, API documentations, all of this can really help us in our business. And one more thing that I would like to share is that even in my let me backtrack, that can't happen overnight, right? Even in my teaching life, I'm teaching at one of the University of Texas here. And I've noticed when I bring in traditional way of teaching for people, textbook, especially I teach a lot of diversity students, and a lot of them they're more visual, they're more audible. They just can't take on this traditional way of working. So I switch in the middle of my course. I switch to an AI platform that it's all about instructional AI. So they don't prompt the answers to you, but for the futures of workers, we have to be ready. So I'm teaching them how to improve their ability to think critically. To think critically, and that's using instructional AI. So they have to learn how to speak better, to write better, and then that platform that will bring people together. And the people who actually came to me, one of the even a mature student came to me and thank you, Ava. Today was such a hard day to come to class. And I said, why is that? Because today's the day that my mama passed away, but I hear her how to be resilient to come back to finish my degree. And he was there and he aced the class because of the AI enablement, that platform that we were to bring in for him. So there's so many students learning that kind of skill set to be more critical to prepare for the future with AI.
That's awesome. What a beautiful story. Dr. Brent.
So I would tell myself 6 months ago, hey, this guy who's doing solar is going to save himself $1 million by using AI. So you need to get off your butt, and it's not a novelty or a toy, and you need to figure out how to do the same thing. That would have been nice to hear 6 months ago. Thanks, William.
What I'm here for.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, like,
that's a mic drop right there. Okay.
Well, yeah, like the AI is still kind of in novelty stage for a lot of folks. Like, oh, it's cool. Hey, look what it can do. I can make it sound like, Larry the Cable Guy. Hey, look, it's kind of fun, but it's like, it's serious. It can make a real difference if you use it well. I think all of us, though, we're figuring out these ditches of how to use it, because we've all seen it like abused. We've seen this like, email that's come across that was just not done well. It's like, man, that was AI, and it turns you off. And then you see somebody like William, who's really integrated it well into his company and the business, and making like a real, that's a big deal. I don't care, how big you are, but $1 million to, I know we're on our way to 100 million. And even if William's at 100 million, maybe he's like, it's just $1 million, that was a week of an afternoon of effort, but for the rest of us it's not. So yeah.
So what that was hilarious.
What I would be one question
I'm gonna hire Brent,
if I may. William, what systems were you using to save that kind of money? Like, is there an accounting system? Like how did that work for you?
You want to know the secret, huh? No.
Well, I think it's probably like, okay.
And I know, like, I won't drag it out, but in construction, there's a lot of like auxiliary bodies that are needed to take, like for solar, for example. People are like, oh, solar, like, oh, this is, it's just putting panels on the roof and energy, right? But no, we have engineers, we have design teams and stamper. Like I have a system that we have developed out with AI that does all our engineering and designs our programs, directly, and it does it in record time. So our proposal software that used to take us, 30 minutes to put together gets it in 5 minutes and costs me nothing. Where those people, I used to have 4, 5, 6 people, you pay them $60,000, $70,000 a year are no longer needed. AI does it. So just like the extra bodies that we don't have to have as a company. And I know some people are like, hey, they're taking my jobs. No, what it's allowed us to do at Genesis is take the extra money and put it back into the rest of the team.
There you go. So it's really just payroll specific, because you don't need you're not paying extra hours to people.
But all that, and you got to think the service itself, like beyond payroll specific, but the technology itself is so cheap once it's trained. It's the cost of it to do the task that it's needed drives down costs everywhere, and technology itself is cheaper. ChatGPT and AI in general, at least for us, has taken technology that we would have spent 20, 30 grand on, and I have it for free. Now, I don't pay the free version, but you get the point. You can have it for free on your phone. How crazy.
Right. What department would each of you implement AI first in? Would be marketing, operations, the executive, as an assistant? What department would you utilize AI first? Deanna.
So interesting. I'm going to go off script. If you're a busy working mama or dada, I'd have AI be your personal assistant. They can plan a grocery list. They can tell you where to get everything the cheapest. They can plan recipes. Like, you don't have to do any of that stuff. So I would definitely go there first, get that stuff off your plate. And then after that, it's really about what your business is and where you want to go. You can't just pick a tool that would apply to every business. As a lifelong marketer, for me, I thought I knew everything about marketing with my MBA and all the things. And I remember asking it a question when I was designing some strategy, and I was blown away that it was smarter than me. It kind of pissed me off, actually. So marketing and strategy are a good place to start traditionally. But I really do think it can be a personal assistant for you as well.
Nice.
Ava.
Well, to tell the truth, it depends, right? I think it can bring in every department, and it depends how we implement it. But one thing I would say is that AI can do so much for customer service right now, like especially with the way it answered. 15 years ago, I worked with a company that already using machine learning, and we created this customized, tailored answer box that when vendors like very specialized in a niche, in an energy niche, they ask questions about, I need to figure out this quote really fast for my own customers. And then the AI just come right back with an estimation. Imagine like it saved hours of customer pains, and they can really get that quote and do the work with their people. So nowadays that customer touch point is important, but after COVID, we're doing a lot of virtual customers interaction. So how do we use AI so that we're not losing the touch, the human touch, but at the same time using AI technology to scale up, to save costs, to really drive that high volumes of inquiries is the customized high volume inquiries is important.
Awesome. Dr. Brent.
Yeah, I'm trying to prioritize. It's definitely a place to go with marketing, strategy, training. I haven't really heard that mentioned. That's another really great place to go, is to accelerate some training, and even to set the expectation that if you're on the job and you've got a gap in knowledge, don't wait for a trainer to come in and use AI to create a course. You can get your team beginning to get used to, I've got a gap in knowledge, I'm going to go to ChatGPT to get me started on that. Don't let it be a replacement for it. But I'm one of the coolest things, for me personally, and I don't know if this is where I recommend it, but our CRM that we use for our co-working space has been integrating AI. First, it was just kind of replacing the FAQ and just being a super FAQ and not having to go look through all the resources and stuff. But now we're actually able to reconfigure our system with AI. Here's what I want to do. I want to add a new rule to our system, and it comes and here's what I want. Here's what I think you asked me to do. You want me to implement it. And so that's like awesome. That's replacing IT as well. So it's like, what department don't you recommend it?
Awesome. Well, we have another panel that's getting ready to start here in a few minutes, but I wanted to go a rapid, I guess, a power round, 1 or 2 sentences at most, 10 seconds. What's the one piece of advice you leave the audience with? William.
You skipped me on the last one, by the way. Just wanted to point it up publicly in front of everybody. Guys, the biggest piece of thing is believe in yourself and let yourself guide AI. Don't let it guide you, and use it as the tool it was meant for. And 100 million will be 500 million for me before too long, and 500 million will be a billion, and AI will help me get there.
Love it. Ava.
I know it can feel intimidating, but just go for it. We don't have to be perfect, and just keep going. Be resilient. Continue to learn. Continue to share your knowledge. You never know where it's going to take you with your business.
Awesome. Deanna?
So I'm a huge Seth Godin fan, and I just listened to a lecture by him, and he said probably about 85% of the people on the planet have not tried AI yet. Get on there 20 minutes a day. Just get on there. You're going to be left behind if you don't. 20 minutes a day, start learning. Pick one and go.
To piggyback on that, I would say just watch this symposium 4 times a year, and that'll greatly help.
Perfect.
Dr. Brent.
Don't forget who you are. Don't let AI really change your mission, your why. let it actually improve your why. Let it allow you to focus more on your why, the deeper, the bigger things. So that you just gotta not forget who you are in this. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, to the panel, thank you so much for your time, your generosity of knowledge, and giving of your experience. This has been absolutely amazing.